It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this morning to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, each and every weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, a show all about business owners, entrepreneurs, and people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. Take a moment to invite you over to my website, tampabayradio.com. Over there, you can find all the shows on demand. Also, see our extensive guest network that we have now built up. Just click on the guest network tab, and you can see all their show cards and links to their interviews, and we do stream all the shows live in studio, so each of the cards are linked to their videos over on my YouTube page, and just a lot of great information coming through the show, and I learn something each and every morning here on the show, and a lot of people give me a lot of feedback that the show is a breath of fresh air in the morning. It's a break from all the political talk and negativity that's been contaminating our airways for far too long. So it's a show to take a break from all that stuff. So I invite you to please tune in each and every morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, and also again to learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. And also please connect with me on all the different social networking sites over on facebook.com/That Business Show. Also on Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. On the first part of the show here, we're going to be talking with Ann Spire. She's the president of CMIT Solutions of Brandon. So we're going to be talking all about IT solutions for business. And then on the second half of the show, we're going to be talking with Steve Howerton and John Duffy, co-owners of Citywide Maintenance, about business partnerships and their franchise Citywide Maintenance. So let's go ahead and bring on my first guest for the show. Ann Spire is the owner of CMIT Solutions office in Brandon, where prior to opening of this company, she has held several key roles in large corporations where she accumulated more than 26 years of experience in the fields of accounting, business development, and information technology. And welcome to the show today.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate being here. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. So first of all, tell me about what CMIT Solutions is.
CMIT Solutions stands for Completely Managed IT, and we believe in a proactive computer approach, so you keep your systems up and running and don't wait for them to go down. And that way you stay more proactive and save revenue.
Okay, so would you say this is on-demand IT services then?
Yes.
Okay.
24/7, 365 days. We're there for your every need, from calling your vendors for you to helping out with Excel, Microsoft, to fixing your computers.
Okay, so I'm at your website, and people can learn more about your company at CMIT Solutions as we're talking. How did you get involved? Now, CMIT Solutions, this is a franchise company, correct?
Yes, this is a franchise, and I got involved when working in IT for over 26 years, doing accounting and business. I decided to branch out, mainly because my son, he has a degree in computer forensics, and he said, hey, let's start our own company. So we did some research, and we love the whole concept of CMIT.
Now, your background is in accounting primarily. I mean, you have other business-related fields, but accounting was your primary field of practice prior to CMIT Solutions?
Yes.
And you said over there you were constantly fiddling with the IT solutions, and that was kind of your inspiration in getting into the IT field, would you say?
Yes, because I've always helped streamline businesses with their processes, and using technology, so it's been great.
Now, you were talking to me a little bit ago about this Microsoft tech support scam, and we wanted to talk about that here on the first segment. So tell me a little bit on the background of this scam and how it works and what business owners and people in the general public need to be aware of.
Okay, this scam is originally started years ago, but it's been back around. We've had several companies call us reporting this, and I've actually myself had 3 calls. And when they call me, I say, I'm a computer company, click. Well, what they do is they call you and they say your computers are having issues and they need help with your account, and we can fix it right away, free of charge. If you, let us into your system, they guide you. They might even run some
So they call and they're looking to get in on a remote connection, so to speak.
Yes.
So you have to give them access.
Yes.
Okay, so they can't get to your servers without you falling for the scam, first of all, correct?
Right. And unfortunately, some employees just don't have that experience. So when they answer the calls, they're not trained that this is a scam.
Okay, where is the scam originating? Is this a locally? Is this one of the Nigerian scams where they're over there? It seems like every scam seems to originate overseas. Is this something that's more local, or is this something international?
It's international.
Okay. What is the impact, on the local businesses? What are they doing? Are they just getting in there to get private information, and then do a lot of businesses not even know that they've been attacked in some cases?
Well, the average for businesses to find out that they've been breached is usually 279 days. And once they're in there, they can get credit card information, to Social Security's, to your personal information, and they actually sell that on the black market, and that's how they make their money. Now,
talk to me about some of the client examples and some of the what you've seen out there. You said you've dealt with this a number of times. Talk to me about some of the examples that you've dealt with.
We had a company recently call us, and they actually let them in, and when they got the call, it was somebody reportedly from Microsoft saying, they had the computer errors and they needed to fix them right away because their account was not right. So unfortunately, the employee let them in, gave them access through like TeamViewer, Log Me In, and they, who knows what they put on there. Well, fortunately for them, after this, they told somebody else in the company right away, and they said, that's a scam. They called us right away. And a lot of times you don't know what they put on there. And if you run certain scans to see what they put on there, some things are just too advanced for them to pick up. So sometimes the only way to get rid of that is to reformat your hard drive.
That's never fun.
And hopefully you have a backup. And unfortunately, a lot of people sometimes don't.
Why are people falling for this? I mean, what are they calling? If somebody calls me, and it would be, first of all, what account is messed up? I don't understand. If somebody were to call me and say my Microsoft account is messed up, I don't have a Microsoft account. I don't understand this. So how are they tricking people? What are they saying?
They usually say that there's a bad virus going around that they've had access to, and they've noticed when they were looking at their account. And a lot of times, employees don't know that they don't have a Microsoft account. Mm-hmm. You as an owner, me as an owner would know that. But sometimes the receptionist or whoever answers the phone, sometimes it's a break room,
And obviously, they're probably targeting the small businesses without the IT departments, because I know I've worked in several, large corporations, and you're not going to be able to get into that type of information. It's on lockdown from the IT department, so you wouldn't be able to give them that type of information. So, are they targeting like just the small mom and pops with just a few employees that everybody knows everything, so to speak?
Mainly small to mid-sized businesses that usually don't have an IT department. And they also target home users, like generally older communities. They'll target them. And
so what are some tips to safeguard, a small business from this?
The tip is to never train your employees, first of all. Never let anybody have access to your computer unless you can verify that is, in fact, they're supposed to be in there. And sometimes, you even get pop-ups with that. If you ever get anything, call your IT company, or you can even call us. We give free advice, if you're not sure what you're doing. But the main thing is to train your employees not to do something like this.
Now let's talk to tell me a little bit more about some of the other services that you offer. Because this is something that I need assistance with as well. I have a server in my office. I host a number of my files, but I'm not really certain how protected that I am from denial of service attacks, things like that. Talk to me about some of these other things that I need to be aware of, with a server that is opened up to the internet out there.
Well, first of all, we do offer a free security assessment where we'll come in and see where you're vulnerable in your network, and see where your
weaknesses are, where
your
your exploits are. Yeah,
exactly. And we put in special firewalls. We do everything from encrypt your data from your emails to let's see what else. We do offer PCI compliance and data security, which That actually monitors all incoming and outgoing traffic, so you can see. It analyzes it to make sure that
analytics is a big problem that I'm having. Being that I have a server, I have a little DiskStation Synology server, which is something, I don't know if it's even designed for what I'm using it for, and I don't know if I need to upgrade to a higher end server. But analytics is something that I have a large problem with. And so, is that a solution that CMIT Solutions offers? They can help us with the tracking information, who's coming to our sites, things like that.
Yes, we do offer those services too. And we also offer, if you're looking for software that does that, we can help find software. We have actually over 1,100 technicians nationwide. I have about 30 in this area. So no matter what your industry is, we pretty much have somebody that can handle it.
Now, how long have you been in business? This is a new venture of yours, correct? Or how long have you been in CMIT Solutions?
I've been in CMIT Solutions for 2 years.
Okay, so 2 years, okay.
And they've been around since 1996.
1996, okay. All right, well, let's take a quick break here. I'm talking with Ann Spire, owner of CMIT Solutions of Brandon. Learn more about them over at CMITsolutions.com. And you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center. Southbound 275, it's slow between Fletcher and Fowler due to a crash being moved off to the side. Once you get past Fowler, though, it looks a whole lot better towards Interstate 4. Southbound 275, it's slow from Fowler to Bush Boulevards, and over in Pinellas County, have a crash along southbound US 19 at Alderman. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Uterick. Hillsborough traffic tip line at 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Burger King. Right now, your favorite breakfast sandwich, the Croissant-wich, is just 2 for $4. Start the day your way with 2 flaky, light, buttery Croissant-wich breakfast sandwiches for $4. Only at Burger King. Limited time only. Price and participation vary.
Today, more humid with a 20% chance of rain, high 89. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 90.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. Learn more about this show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Also, please connect with me on all the different social networking sites. You can find me all over the place. I got a SoundCloud channel for all the audios, YouTube where we put up all the videos, and Facebook.com/That Business Show where we put all the different show updates and a lot of different information on the sponsors and things like that. And also Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. We're looking to grow the Twitter handle, so I invite you to please head over to that and tag me in a number of posts and give me some feedback and some recommendations. And also, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur or just somebody in the community making a difference, I want to hear from you. So please feel free to reach out to me and let me know what it is that you're doing. And if you'd like to make an appearance on the show, there is no charge to come into the studio as a guest. So please don't let that stop you. The best way to get me is send me a message through my website, through the contact form, which is TampaBayRadio.com. Currently talk with Ann Spire, president of CMIT Solutions of Brand, and learn more about them over at CMITSolutions.com. And Ann, during the break there, we were talking about, the cost to businesses for these data breaches, and how small businesses kind of underestimate the potential danger of these attacks on their servers or their networks. Give me some statistics, like you were talking to me about off the break there, what business owners need to be aware of and why they need to take IT security so seriously.
Well, it takes an average of 279 days for a data breach to be noticed. And during that time, they can be still taking credit card information. And an average size, mid-sized business, small business, it is an average of $80,000. That's the cost of a data breach. Because not only do you have the potential of losing your customers, you also have to, every time your bank sends out them new credit cards, somebody pays for those. Mm-hmm. And then on the fines, and they predict 1 out of 6 businesses in the next 24 months will have a data breach. And out of those, more than half will be likely to close after the first year. Wow.
Have you experienced this with other business owners that you've assisted, where you've went in and the data breach is just so severe? You said worst case scenario, you got to reformat the network, or the hard drives and things like that. Talk to me about some. Have you experienced any horror stories, so to speak?
Yes, we've had one company that called us, and they actually had their files locked by a ransomware, where they said they had to pay a ransom of $500 to get their computers unlocked. And we were able to go in and save their computer and saved all their files. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to literally reformat the whole computer and go back to a previous backup. And some companies, they rely on their backups, but then they don't check them. They don't have a recovery process in place. And with us, we not only back it up into the cloud, we do on-site. We can have you back up and running in less than an hour. And
yeah, I don't trust the backups necessarily. I've actually went through a disaster recovery scenarios where, all right, let's imagine that I did have a computer failure, or my backups in place, and how quickly can I get this recovered? Like I'm running a Windows 7 and they have the just backing up the computer itself and it backs up to a network. I tried to restore a backup to another computer. It wouldn't take it. And what I thought, every night it was recovering or was backing up the computer and said, okay, successful backup. I went to test, a recovery on it. It didn't work. So it said the file was an error or whatever, but every night it was doing that. So, you got to test your backup recovery plan. It's really important to have a disaster recovery plan, would you not say?
Yes. We actually test our backups every day. They get tested to make sure all the files are there, they're able to back up, and we back up the files every 15 minutes, so you don't really have to go back days. And we put a process in place that says if a data breach or you need to put your backup into place, this is the steps that's going to take to minimize your downtime.
Tell me more about the virus. I think you touched on just a moment ago the crypto locker virus, where it takes control of the computer and it seizes it, and it's asking for money to release the files. First of all, if people pay the money, do they actually release the files back to them, or what? Or do people just run for the hills at that point?
Well, that's the funny thing about it is they seem to be like honest criminals, because most of the time they do release their
Okay, so they
files.
actually do release. I was wondering if it's just, they take your credit card information and run with it, or if that's just some type of, additive to the scam, or so to speak. But so you're saying that people actually do release the files back?
I would say about 80% of the time they release the files back. But the problem with that is they can do it again because they're still in there.
Right. Once you obviously do it once, they obviously know they got somebody who's probably going to do it again. So, but I would hope that they would go and contact somebody like yourself and say, okay, my IT department obviously needs some assistance. I had one of my computers get hijacked by the FBI virus. I mentioned that to you. I think you said that was a form of the crypto locker virus, but it was a virus that popped up on the screen, and it says you've been caught downloading illegal material, and it's got a really scary guy. It's pointing a finger at you in an FBI outfit, and it says you're currently being recorded, and it kicks on your webcam to your computer, and it's very interesting, and it completely locks the computer. Fortunately, one of my good friends is very skilled in IT. He came in, he said, all right, I got to start this up in safe mode, run Malwarebytes, found the virus, we took it off, and it took care of the computer. Had I not had him, my computer was completely locked. And so have you ever had any run-ins with the FBI virus?
No, not personally, not that one. I know the ones that we did run into were all emails that were supposedly from UPS or FedEx saying that you had a package, please click here, and because of course there's no package. And unfortunately it was around Christmas time on the one instance, and of course they thought, well, maybe we did have a package because it was Christmas time.
Right. Are you familiar with these, or do you get these random emails from people that with like a link to something, and then somehow they've gotten into your email and they've went into your address book, and it emails everybody out a link, says, hey, check this out, and then it's sending out some vulgar pictures or things like that. Are you familiar with that as well? What is that virus?
That virus is just one that likes to take over your email, and I would guess it's.
I've gotten
we like to joke and say it's probably 12-year-olds out there just to have fun.
But it gets into your address book, and it reads all, and it sends an email out to them. The Nigerian scams runs like that too. I had somebody hijack my Hotmail account a couple years ago, and they sent an email out to my entire address book. And this was not just one of those stupid little links. Hey, look what I found. It was saying that I was in London. I had lost all my money. Please call, or please help me. And my mother got the email, and she started freaking out because she believed it. And I was like, Mom, no, I'm fine. But these people fall for these types of things, and they're looking for you to wire a quick couple $1,000s. And what they do is they change the reply to address, and so if they put an I somewhere in the thing, so they're hoping that you hit reply and you say, oh, okay, what can I do to help you? And they say, okay, please wire me $2,000, and they give you the wire instructions. But if you look closely, they've changed your reply to address. So if you ever had your email hijacked, make sure you go in there and check that they didn't reset the reply to address, because you can change that setting in your email, and they just put a little I in there, and that's one of the ways they get you. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that happened to me.
Well, they're getting really creative. Like a lot of people see the credit card scams on the skimmers on the gas pumps. Well, they can literally put them in an outlet to read your files. So just beware. what's out there. And if you need advice, just call somebody.
Yeah, and the credit card scammers on these gas pumps are becoming more prevalent. I just saw an article the other day. I mean, they found them in some 30 different locations across the Bay Area. So, yeah, there's a lot of, threats out there in the IT world. And obviously, somebody like yourself is somebody people need to keep on their contact list to get in touch with. That was Ann Spire, president of CMIT Solutions. Ann, thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And learn more about her over at cmitsolutions.com. Coming back from the break, we're going to be talking with Steve Howerton and John Duffy, co-owners of Citywide Maintenance, and you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
See how much you could save.
Ford is taking the EcoBoost Challenge all across America, so everyone can test drive America's best-selling brand.
Oh, wow. Ford has really stepped up.
I definitely feel the EcoBoost.
They really kicked the competition's butt on this.
So come get behind the wheel and experience the new Ford lineup for yourself.
Awesome. I want to do it again and again and again.
My opinion of Ford has dramatically changed.
Hurry to your local Ford dealer for the EcoBoost Challenge sales event going on now. Best selling based on 2014 calendar year sales.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Crash in Pinellas County along southbound US 19 approaching Alderman, also along Gandy Boulevard at 16th Street. That, of course, between 275 and MLK. Southbound 275 looks a whole lot better into downtown Tampa. Westbound I-4, though, still slow from the Crosstown connector to 275. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Burger King.
Welcome to Burger King. Do you know what time it is?
8:03?
Nope, it's croissant time. So what time is it?
Croissant time.
No, ma'am, it's 8:04.
Get 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4, only at Burger King. Restrictions apply.
Winds, Weather Center forecast. We'll see sunshine to start, then clouds picking up throughout the day into the afternoon with a rain chance up to 40%. Scattered afternoon showers and storms lingering to the evening. 90 for high today, and tonight's lows, low 70s. Impact Radio 1250 Winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Winds, WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Each and every weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ, a show with a positive message all about business owners, entrepreneurs, people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. So I invite you to please tune in each and every morning and take a break from all the political talk and negativity that's contaminating our airwaves just a little bit too much, with a message about business owners and people making a difference in and around the community. Learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. Over there, you can find all the past shows on demand, both the audio and the video. We do stream all the shows here live in studio. And on the homepage of tampabayradio.com, you'll see a button that says live stream. So if you're by a computer each weekday morning at 8 a.m. and you click on that, you can see the action here in the studio. And also we put things up on the stream that you're not going to see if you're just listening to us on the on the airwaves. Also, please connect with me on all the different social networking sites, facebook.com/That Business Show, Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. If you're just tuning in there in that last segment, we were talking with Ann Spire, president and owner of CMIT Solutions. Learn more about her and her company at CMITsolutions.com. It's a local company with basically IT solutions on demand, and then I'm definitely going to be talking with them after that segment, as I need some help with my office setup and network and IT solutions. And after talking with her, I'm a little bit worried about some of the scams that are going around out there. So let's go ahead and bring on my second guests for the show. Got a pair of co-owners here, Steve Howerton and John Duffy. After stumbling across the citywide business model online, Steve Howerton began talking about opening his own business. More than a year later, Steve Howerton and his partner John Duffy pulled together most of their life savings and did it. After a combined 30 years at Cintas Corporation, the partners struck out on their own to open the 25th citywide location. The company has grown to nearly $2.5 million in annual revenue, with a loyal customer base serving more than 150 customers in the Tampa, St. Pete, and Sarasota areas. Steve and John, welcome to the show today.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Got to find out who's going to talk first here, right, guys? You're kind of looking at each other and saying, all right, who's going to go first? First off, let's talk about what citywide maintenance is.
Jamie, Citywide Maintenance is a full-service building maintenance company. We service commercial customers from, as you said, Pasco to Sarasota counties and everything in between. We provide everything from cleaning services to pressure washing, parking lot restriping, you name it. We like to say, or our motto is, we do everything but elevators and roofs.
Okay, so the website I'm checking this out so people can learn more about you during and after the show, is gocitywide.com. And so is this, so your services include janitorial, building maintenance, landscape, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and everything but elevators and roofs, you said, right?
Pretty much everything that a commercial building needs to maintain it, we can do. And our structure is a little bit different than a lot of our competitors. We assign each client a facility service manager, and that manager is their sole point of contact for our company. The manager visits them on a regular basis. In most cases, that's weekly, inspects the building, and can provide solutions for any of their building maintenance needs, whether that's a cost-related solution or it's just advice, or we can bring in a third party who does roofs or elevators. So.
Now, let's go over here to John, give him a chance to jump in here on the conversation. John, tell me, how are you involved? Are you both, how do you share the different responsibilities as co-owners and business partners? Obviously, that's something that a lot of people have a problem with is, partnerships.
Yeah, well, we fortunately get along really well, and we primarily focus on sales because it's a sales
Okay, so you both are out there drumming up the new clients, and then you have your people out there in the different buildings and everything. So you're focused on sales. How did you all meet, first of all? The Cintas Corporation was in your introduction there. Tell me about how you all met and, formed this partnership.
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting. But when I graduated college, I went to work for a company called Cintas, spent over 20 years there. Steve was 20 years in the military and joined Cintas after his military career, and he covered our region from a sales side. I was in Jacksonville, Florida, and so that's how we met. Going along pretty well there, and then as the economy turned, some things happened, and we found ourselves looking for some more opportunities. So we found Citywide and.
Did you look at other? Now, Citywide is a franchise, correct?
Yes.
Did you look at other franchise opportunities? What drew you to the Citywide maintenance model?
Well, John and I put together a plan when we started the search, and we had certain criteria that we required in whatever business venture we decided to invest in. And the criteria were, first of all, it had to be in the service industry because that's our experience. We wanted the contractual agreements and the cyclic revenue. We really didn't want it to have a national company presence in the industry, so that because at Cintas our experience was we went in and bought companies hostile, from a hostile way, and we also wanted a fragmented industry where there weren't a lot of professional, I would say, very competent companies, and we like to use a professional sales force, so that was a plus if we could use a proactive sales approach. And we wanted an industry large enough that with a very small market share, we could both make seven figures.
Now, give me some tips or some advice on business partnerships. First of all, what are some of the benefits of owning a business with a partner, and what are some of the, I guess, stumbling blocks that so many people make, when owning a business with a partner?
I would say you go through a lot of emotional, are we doing the right things? Are we, is our plan right? Is our approach right? And I think from just having, a partner to be able to reassure you that we're doing the right things and not
so there was a
yourself.
Good emotional connection between the two, would you say, then, that you had basically an internal support network between the two of you? Would that be a good assessment?
I would agree. And we were the 25th location, as you mentioned in the intro, and now there's approximately 45. They've been franchising for 15 years, and we're the 4th largest location. We were the top franchise last year, franchise of the year for the company, and I credit the fact that we have a strong partnership. We look at a lot of the other franchises who do well. All of them do well. It's a fantastic business model, but when you're an individual owner, it's hard to duplicate effort. It's hard to get that efficiency of work. So definitely that's helped us be successful.
Who is your target client? Is it just anybody with a commercial building? Do you specialize in the larger, office buildings or the small offices? I mean, tell me a little bit about who your ideal client is.
First of all, we will service anyone, so I don't want to limit it to that, and we do. But I would say our typical or niche market would be a 10,000 to 100,000 foot commercial building, owner-occupied type building. But the majority of our customers fall into 4 categories. That's we do a lot of schools, probably 50 or 60 schools, private, charter, things of that nature. We do a tremendous amount of medical, so surgery centers, daycare facilities, urgent care facilities, things of that nature. We do office buildings, everything from light industrial up to Class A office space, and car dealerships, believe it or not, are a really good market for us.
What about like apartment building maintenance, things of that nature? Is that something that you would touch on at all, or was that something you avoid?
Well, we don't avoid it. I would say that we do have several good HOA customers who use us for all their facility maintenance on their grounds and things of that nature. But typically, a lot of those facilities have someone on staff that's taking care of the daily maintenance work and things of that nature. But we would not absolutely take a look at any opportunity that came our way.
Now, for the large office buildings that have facilities managers, do you work hand in hand with them? You're not necessarily substituting their role, are you?
No, absolutely not. I mean, there's plenty of work that they have to do, and our value proposition in all reality is trying to save that individual time. Managing a cleaning crew can take a lot of time, and a lot of them are glad to get that off their plate because they have plenty of other things that they're trying to focus on to help their companies.
The different crews that you bring into the buildings, are they employees or are they subcontractors?
It depends. It depends on the client's needs and requirements, and but we do a mix of both. We basically try to provide the client with, again, whether it's cleaning or any of the other services that we provide, the best cost-effective solution that they don't have to manage themselves. And because typically we do start with the cleaning, we already have the keys to the building. We've earned their trust in one of the hardest services that they have challenges with. We know their security codes to get in, so we can take care of that. They know we're already vested in their business on a daily basis in cleaning it, so all the other stuff really makes sense to use us for.
One thing I know a number of business owners are concerned with maintenance crews is the security of the people that you're letting into your facilities. Talk to me a little bit about the type of people that come into the building and the screening that they go through.
Yeah, everybody's background checked as far as before they're able to come into the building, and then especially with schools and things like that, they have even more specific requirements as far as Jessica Lunsford badges. All of our people that are visiting the schools during the days and things like that are, of course, Jessica Lunsford badge and have all the appropriate background checks. Some companies go even more extreme, and we obviously follow their policies and procedures as far as that goes to adhere to whatever needs they have.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a big security. I mean, we have a cleaning crew that comes through our office every night, and there's a lot of stuff laying around, so you definitely got to take care to have people of good stature that are in your facility. What are your suggestions for sales executives looking to open their own business?
Well, I would say thinking about the criteria that John and I developed before we started the search, and that way you can kind of mow through the things that don't fit those exact strengths. And I would say figure out what you want to do and then figure out the money, believe it or not, because we really did not get wrapped up around how we were going to finance it. Although we used a lot of our own money, it's expensive, so you have to find, in some cases, other resource revenue.
Who was the first company to take a chance on you guys, so to speak? Who was your first client?
It was a small medical office in Oldsmar, Dr. Sturck, which I think it's moved over to a different medical office now, but it's part of a physician group. A little, believe it or not, like $300 a month to clean the building. We were nervous as heck, and it's pretty exciting, actually.
And for all the entrepreneurs out there, as we call them, the people that want to be an entrepreneur, talk to me about that first year. Give them some support out there, and let them know that we all go through challenges, but you got to have the courage to step outside the box if you want to really have some financial freedom and job security when you're running your own business, so to speak. Tell me a little bit about that first year.
The first year is an emotional roller coaster. We were very successful at Cintas, both in sales and operations. John ran a plant that was 500 employees doing $500,000 a week in revenue. I ran 12 sales teams in southern Georgia and northern Florida. It took us 90 days to sell our first $300 a month account.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's hard to go home to mama about that second month and say, have you sold something?
Right.
Well, not yet, but I got a lot of stuff working.
What was the problem with the sales in the beginning? Was it just the lack of experience, or was it your technique, or what did you find? What have you learned now? What is it more the experience and the...
Yeah, I would say it was the experience, understanding the industry itself and the needs of the clients and the relationship that this industry has with clients, and just getting out there and knocking on the right doors. We were knocking on doors for the first 30 days that probably wouldn't have been a great client for us. So we had to kind of figure those things out as we went along, and certainly the franchisor helped us out in that, but there's nothing like getting out there and doing it and figuring it out.
I love to hear those stories. That's what this show is all about, is people getting out there and starting, their own business and stuff. So it's great to be amongst, fellow entrepreneurs here. Got to take a quick break, but we're currently talking with Steve Howerton and John Duffy, co-owners of Citywide Maintenance. Learn more about them at gocitywide.com. And you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Have you considered a reverse mortgage as part of your retirement financial plan? For homeowners age 62 or older, a reverse mortgage from Access Reverse Mortgage is a safe, economical way to turn your home's equity into cash or monthly income. Access Reverse Mortgage is a family-owned company based right here in the Tampa Bay area for the past 10 years. They are A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau and Florida's leading reverse mortgage provider. Call 727-347-0305 or go to accessreverse.com to start your research today. NMLS number 4566. That's 727-347-0305.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Tampa Bay weather is a roof killer. That's why when getting your roof done, you want it done right. Hi, I'm Jamie Meloni of That Business Show. When considering a new roof or repair, talk to Westfall Roofing. They've been installing high-quality roofs in Tampa Bay for over 25 years. Get a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 855-99-ROOFING. That's 855-99-ROOFING. Find out what already 15,000 satisfied customers already know. Call now, 855-99-ROOFING.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Southbound 275 approaching Bird Street, crashed there, blocking the right-hand lane. That is slowing things down back to Bush Boulevard. Also had a crash along US 19 southbound near Alderman. That was blocking the left-hand lane. That's being moved off to the side. Coming off the Howard Franklin Bridge into Tampa, just a bit slow, but once you get past the Kennedy exit area, you're good to go into downtown Tampa. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abraham Son and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Burger King.
Welcome to Burger King. Do you know what time it is?
8:03.
Nope, it's croissant time. So what time is it?
Croissant, it's time.
No, ma'am, it's 8:04.
Get 2 croissant sandwiches for just $4, only at Burger King. Restrictions apply.
Today, more humid with a 20% chance of rain, high 89. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Tomorrow, a 30% rain chance, high 90.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Thanks for staying tuned in, everybody. You're currently listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Again, each and every weekday morning at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. A show all about our business owners, entrepreneurs, people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. If you'd like to make an appearance on the show, please feel free to contact me. Best way to get me, contact form on tampabayradio.com. Shoot me a quick message as to what it is that you're doing and why you'd like to make an appearance on the show. And I'd love to talk with you. A lot of people are contacting me now, and the show is really starting to get some good reach out there in the community. So it'll be some good exposure for your business, and also get you maybe partnered up with a prior guest that's been on the show. I've partnered up a number of people that are a good fit, and so it's actually kind of taking on an internal network type of format with the show and everything. So again, learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com, and you can see all the past guests on the site as well. Click on the guest network tab on the homepage, and you can see all their show cards, and click on their show cards, and you can see their interviews and see if it's maybe somebody like an introduction to. So even if you don't want to come on the show for an interview, reach out to me, and if you need an introduction to any one of my guests, I'm happy to partner you up with a quick email introduction. Currently talk with Steve Howerton and John Duffy, co-owners of Citywide Maintenance. Learn more about them over at gocitywide.com. And so, John, talk to me a little bit about, the different services, how you get your foot in the door. You obviously start with janitorial, but what are you looking to do when you get inside the building?
Well, there's so many janitorial companies. The way we try to, separate ourselves from our competition is we assign a facility service manager, and our facility service manager, frankly, are people that we worked with in the past. They have a very high business acumen. They understand P&Ls. They understand budgets. They understand the needs that customer has as far as facility maintenance. We obviously start with the janitorial. We inspect what we expect, so that individual will go through the building and make sure we're doing all the right things. And then we try to penetrate that account to be more valuable to that particular customer, whether it's from their floor care, whether it's from supplies, whether it's windows, landscaping, all the different services that we have. By penetrating that account, then we can become more of a partner with them and frankly sit on their side of the table and manage these services for them. And so, we've got, of course, wonderful customers. And you take one example of Out of Door Academy, our facility service managers are in that case is Sarah, and sitting on the side of the table with the customer and working with their budget and things like that. So, so our facility service, saving that customer time and
is everything negotiable? Let's say you come in, you're doing my facility cleaning, and now I want you to take on a more of a building maintenance type of supervisory role. Is everything negotiable based on, or is there like a set price per square foot? Are you going to be able to like change the light bulbs and mow the grass also? Talk to me a little bit about how the different types of upsells, so to speak, that you would throw on for a facility.
Well, I think, Jamie, we look at the customer's needs. Let's say, for example, we're cleaning their building and they have a need for landscaping. Then we look at that individual service and we price it accordingly. In our business, 3 people have to win. The customer has to get a good service that exceeds their expectations. We have to be able to make $1, and then the folks that are actually doing the work have to have a fair expectation and be paid accordingly. So typically, and like John said in that example of Out of Door, there's several customers like Out of Door at their annual budget meetings with their CFO and their business managers. We're sitting at the table with them. We're trying to take in consideration all their needs they'll need for the entire year. We sit down. We put together with them a budget. And so it's a definite partnership. But, yes, we can work with all budgets. A lot of it's just scope of work. The more aggressive the scope of work is in a particular job, typically the more hours, then the more cost. But we've been successful in pretty much solving those type financial issues in the past.
Now, you both come from a background in business, and Steve, you were in the military 20 years, so you obviously about keeping the schedule and professionalism and things like that. I think some of the best people in the workforce are military members. I mean, they're trained and they just know the importance of following orders and from their superiors and things of that nature. So I know without a doubt that you would be an excellent person to be a partner with in the building maintenance business. But talk to me a little bit more about that and your background in business. I know, John, you were also involved with Fortune 500 companies in the past. So tell me a little bit more about this.
Well, I think the one thing that we learned from Cintas, the company that we worked at before, is one of the main strategic plans that you have to have is culture. As much as it is sales and a profit plan, you have to have a defined culture. And I think Steve and I have done a very good job at doing that. And so professional, a Spartan approach to business, a highly ethical and moral company. And so we've defined our expectations to our people so that we understand, or so that they understand the type of company that they're coming in. And then, of course, you can interview around that and hire the right people once you understand what your culture is and how it's defined. And so because of that, we're able to attract what we think are very talented people and surround ourselves with winners, which has enabled us to achieve things like the franchise of the year, if you will, and one of the fastest growing franchises there are. So the culture is extremely, extremely important to us, and because that's how we really make a lot of.
Tell me a little bit
decisions.
about the growth. We talked in that last segment about that first year. Tell me, since the first year, the growth. Tell me a little bit more about the success of the business.
Well, our first year, even though we got off to the 90-day lull there, we actually set the record for new business in our company in the franchise system. Last year, which was our 5th complete year, we installed more new business than had ever been installed before by any franchise location. But we have grown tremendously over the last 5 years, and I attribute a lot of that growth to and getting back to the processes. You mentioned when we worked at Cintas, John's a Six Sigma black belt. Obviously, in the military, it was a very structured environment. There were processes and procedures that you had to follow. And so we believe in trying to predict the outcome of any job we do as much as possible. And you do that through processes and procedures. And that's what we do. And then, of course, the management layer on top of that. We, as John said, inspect what we expect. And if you have the best people and you have good policies and procedures and processes in place and you inspect it, you're going to win.
Some great information, and thank you all very much for both coming in this morning. That was Steve Howerton and John Duffy. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in this Friday morning.
Thank you for having us.
And learn more about them over at GoCitywide.com. Again, that was Steve Howerton and John Duffy, co-owners of Citywide Maintenance. On the first part of the show, thank you to Ann Spire, president of CMIT Solutions of Brandon. Learn more about them over at CMITSolutions.com. Well, we're headed into the weekend, so hope everybody has a great weekend. I'll catch y'all back in here Monday morning at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.